Woof. Howdy, fellow trailhounds. Let's settle in with Uncle Diogenes at his digital campfire for episode 31 of Thomas the Trailhound. We're getting into Act 4 now. This is the long thaw of our walk along the Appalachian Trail. 52 episodes total with Old Man and his dog Thomas. Morning came to Baxter the way morning is supposed to come. No fanfare, no fear in it. Sunlight through frosted glass, cutting the room into slow gold pieces. Kettle just starting to think about whistling. Smoke going straight up the chimney, the way smoke only goes when the air outside has stopped arguing with herself. My boots were drying by the door, a little more than yesterday. I noticed that. I notice everything about drying now. And the cabin smelled different. Less blood, more coffee. That's the smell of living, replacing the smell of surviving. And if you've ever noticed the difference, I hope you never have to learn it the way we did. 3 mornings, not a montage, a liturgy. Say it slow enough, and it becomes one. Morning 1, old man slept late, didn't wake for the kindling. Echo was outside already, splitting it himself, breath fogging, axe falling in that unhurried rhythm of a man who has learned patience the hard way. And I went and sat with him. Didn't help. Dogs don't split wood. We supervise. Breakfast was quiet. Old man watched the fire more than he watched us. Nobody minded. Morning 2. Old man insisted on the coffee. His hands shook doing it. Not bad, just enough that the pot rattled once against the stove lid. Nobody said anything. Echo reached for the heavier kettle before old man's hand got there. Casual, like it was already his turn. Nobody said anything about that either. Morning 3. Old man walked outside on his own, just to the wood pile. 30 feet. 30 feet that cost him something. He came back breathing harder than he'd ever admit to, a living soul. And he stood in the doorway a second longer than the walk required, like he was deciding whether to let his lungs show. I noticed. Echo noticed. Old man decided we hadn't. That's the rhythm of this place now. Healing measured in inches, and pride measured in how well you hid the inches. Small fire. It had to happen. Not the big kind, the human kind. I'm carrying today's wood, old man said, like it was a fact instead of a decision. He got about halfway, his knee gave. Just enough. Not a fall, not a collapse, just a hitch. Catch. A man's body reminded him they had kept a receipt. Damn. That was all he said. Echo didn't rush over, didn't make a thing of it. Just walked up slow and took half of the load off his arms like he'd been planning to all along. Old man let him. That was the victory. Not the knee holding, but letting. I've known him for a long time. There was a version of him, Catadine ago, Dennis Cove ago, Lamp and Vow ago, that would have gritted his teeth through it rather than hand a stranger half his weight. Echo ain't a stranger no more, and the old man let something go that he used to carry on principle alone. Spring began speaking, not with color, not yet with sound. First the icicles, let them go, one drop at a time, off the eave, patient as confession. Then water, somewhere under the snow, moving where nothing should be moving. Chickadee, first one all winter, announcing itself like it had an appointment to keep. And the wind changed its smell. I can't explain that to a human nose. You'll have to trust the dog on this one. Winter wind smells like waiting, and this didn't. I heard spring before anyone saw it. We always do. Echo and Thomas. Small, not big. Big would have ruined it. Echo dropped low in the snow. That universal, ancient invitation, front end down, back end up, tail going like a question mark that already knew the answer. I bowed back. 30 seconds of nothing that mattered, and everything they did. A little chase, a little wrestle. The snow gone soft enough to forgive us for it. Old man watched from the doorway, didn't say a word. But something in his face unclenched that had been clenched since Catadine. Dogs heal differently than men do. Sometimes we have to go first, just to show it's allowed. Firelight conversation. Evening, the longest talk yet. And it wasn't about anything. That's how you know it mattered. Old man laughed. Actually, laughed. Kind of sours low and catches him by surprise on the way out. Something about the sheer foolishness of it. A grown man choose to climb a mountain and never once asked him to. Echo gave him a dry line back. Something short and unbothered. The kind of joke a man only makes once he trusts the room. I listened. Didn't need to do anything else. Some evenings the dog's whole job is to lie by the fire and be proof the room is safe. Everyone asleep but me. I watched the fire a while longer. Watched old man breathe. Watched Echo breathe. Took me longer than it should have to realize I'd stopped counting his breaths. There was a time I counted everything. Every rise of his chest. Every pause too long. Every night I stay awake doing the math on how much longer. I was a different dog. In a different season. Keeping watch. Because I didn't trust the world not to take him while I slept. Tonight, I just watched. No math in it. No counting. Match my own breathing to theirs, the way I've always done. 3 sets of lungs, finding the same slow time. But for the first time and longer than I can say, I wasn't watching to make sure it kept going. I was just watching because it was good to see. The episode doesn't end with fear tonight. It ends with certainty. Some things don't mend all at once. They simply stop getting worse. And sometimes that's how the healing begins. Woof. faith, family, forward. If you made it this far, thank you, fellow citizen of the digital agora. Consider hitting like, share, and subscribe for some original storytelling, the old digital campfire style, with Uncle Diogenes of America. See you next time, fellow Trailhounds.